Ever found yourself tangled in the complex web of state management in React? You're not alone. Many developers grapple with the intricacies of maintaining and updating the state in their applications. But don't worry, React has a solution in store for us, and its name is useReducer. Now, you might be wondering, what is useReducer? Well, it's a built-in React hook that allows you to manage the state of your application more predictably by using a reducer function. It's particularly useful when you have complex state logic or when the next state depends on the previous one. So how do you use this magic tool? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1, import the hook. At the top of your component, write import useReducer from React. This line brings the useReducer hook into your component, allowing you to use it. Step 2, define the initial state. This is the state your component will have when it first loads. You can define it as a simple object, like so. Const initial state =, count 0. Step 3, create a reducer function. This function will determine how your state changes in response to certain actions. It takes in the current state and an action and returns the new state. Here's an example. Function reducer, state, action, switch, action type, case increment, return, count, state.count +1, default return state. Step 4, use the useReducer hook. Now it's time to put everything together. Inside your component, call useReducer with your reducer function and initial state as arguments. It will return an array with 2 elements, the current state and a dispatch function. Const useReducer, reducer, initial state. Step 5, dispatch actions. You can now change the state by dispatching actions. These actions will be passed to your reducer function, which will calculate the new state. For example, to increment the count, you would call dispatch type increment. Now let's summarize the key points about useReducer. Firstly, useReducer is a hook that allows you to manage complex state logic in a more predictable way. It's all about giving you more control over your state. Secondly, it requires 3 things: an initial state, a reducer function, and the useReducer hook itself. The initial state is the starting point, the reducer function determines how the state changes, and the useReducer hook brings it all together. Thirdly, state changes are made by dispatching actions. These actions are processed by your reducer function, which returns the new state. Finally, remember that useReducer is particularly useful when the next state depends on the previous one, or when you have complex state logic that involves multiple subvalues, or when the update logic for your state is complex. In conclusion, useReducer is a powerful tool that can greatly simplify your state management in React. So, why not give it a try in your next project? Head over to our YouTube channel to start learning. Thanks for tuning in, and happy coding.